Hello, my name is Deanne, and this is Deanne's Treasure Studio, where I read game content not available on audio. Today we're reading Free Reading 2024, Chapter 5, Descriptions of Feats Continued. Great Weapon Master. General Feats, Prerequisite, Level 4 plus, Strength 13 plus. You gain the following benefits. Ability score increase. Increase your strength score by 1 to a maximum of 20. Heavy Weapon Mastery. When you hit a creature with a weapon that has the heavy property as part of the attack action on your turn, you can cause the weapon to deal extra damage to the target. The extra damage equals your proficiency bonus. Hue. Immediately after you score a critical hit with a melee weapon or reduce a creature to 0 hit points with 1, you can make one attack with the same weapon as a bonus action. Heavily Armored. General Feat, Prerequisite, Level 4 plus Medium Armor Training. You gain the following benefits. Ability score increase. Increase your constitution or strength score by 1 to a maximum of 20. Armor training. You gain training with the heavy armor. Heavy Armor Master. General Feat. Prerequisite Level 4 plus Heavy Armor Training. You gain the following benefits. Ability score increase. Increase your constitution or strength score by 1 to a maximum of 20. Damage reduction. When you're hit by an attack while you're wearing heavy armor, by bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage dealt to you by the attack is reduced to an amount equal to your proficiency bonus. Inspiring Leader. General Feat. Prerequisite Level 4 plus Wisdom or Charisma 13 plus. You gain the following benefits. Ability score increase. Increase your Wisdom or Charisma score by 1 to a maximum of 20. Bolstering performance. When you finish a short or long rest, you can give an inspiring performance, a speech, song, or dance. When you do so, choose up to 6 allies, which can include yourself, within 30 feet of yourself who witnesses the performance. The chosen creatures each gain temporary hit points equal to your character level plus the modifier of the ability you increased with this feat. Keen Mind. General Feat. Prerequisite Level 4 plus Intelligent 13 plus. You gain the following benefits. Ability score increase. Increase your intelligence score by 1 to a maximum of 20. Lore knowledge. Choose one of the following skills: Arcana, History, Investigation, Nature, or Religion. If you lack proficiency in the chosen skill, you gain proficiency in it. And if you already have proficiency in it, you gain expertise in it. Quick Study. You can take the study action as a bonus action. Lightly Armored. General Feat. Prerequisite Level 4 plus. You gain the following benefits. Ability score increase. Increase your strength or dexterity score by 1 to a maximum of 20. Armor training. You gain training with the light armor and shields. Mage Slayer. General Feat. Prerequisite Level 4 plus. You gain the following benefits. Ability score increase. Increase your strength or dexterity score by 1 to a maximum of 20. Concentration Breaker. When you damage a creature that is concentrating, it has disadvantage on the saving throw it makes to maintain concentration. Guarded Mind. If you fail an intelligence or wisdom or a charisma saving throw, you can cause yourself to succeed instead. Once you use this benefit, you can't use it again until you finish a long or short rest. Martial weapon training. General feats, prerequisite level 4 plus. You gain the following benefits. Ability score increase. Increase your strength or dexterity score by 1 to a maximum of 20. Weapon proficiency. You gain proficiency with martial weapons. Medium armor master. General feat, prerequisite level 4 plus medium armor training. You gain the following benefits. Ability score increase. Increase your strength or dexterity score by 1 to a maximum of 20. Dexterous wearer. While you're wearing the medium armor, you can add 3 rather than 2 to your AC if you have a dexterity score of 16 or higher. Moderately armored. General feat, prerequisite level 4 plus light armor training. You gain the following benefits. Ability score increase. Increase your strength or dexterity score by 1 or a maximum of to a maximum of 20. Armor training. You gain training with medium armor. Mounted combat. General feat, prerequisite level 4 plus. You gain the following benefits. Ability score increase. Increase your strength, dexterity, or wisdom score by 1 to a maximum of 20. Mounted combat. While mounted, you have advantage on attack rolls against any unarmored creature within 5 feet of your mount. That is at least 1 size smaller than the mount. Leap aside. If your mount is subjected to an effect that allows it to make a dexterity saving throw to take only half damage, it instead takes no damage if it succeeds on the saving throw, and only half damage if it fails. For your mount to gain this benefit, you must be riding it, and neither of you can have the incapacitated condition. Veer. While mounted, you can force an attack that hits your mount to hit you instead if you don't have the incapacitated condition. Observant. General feat, prerequisite level 4 plus intelligence or wisdom 13 plus. You gain the following benefits. Ability score increase. Increase your intelligence or wisdom score by 1 to a maximum of 20. Keen observer. Choose one of the following skills: insight, investigation, or perception. If you lack proficiency in the chosen skill, you gain proficiency in it, and if you already have proficiency in it, you gain expertise in it. Quick search. You can take a search action as a bonus action. Piercer. General feat, prerequisite level 4 plus. You gain the following benefits. Ability score increase. Increase your strength or dexterity by 1 to a maximum of 20. Puncture. Once per turn, when you hit a creature with an attack that deals piercing damage, you can re-roll one of your attack damage dice, and you must use the new roll. Enchanted critical. When you score a critical hit that deals piercing damage to a creature, you can roll 1 additional damage die when determining the extra piercing damage the target takes. Poisoner. General feat, prerequisite level 4 plus. You gain the following benefits. Ability score increase. Increase your dexterity or intelligence score by 1 to a maximum of 20. Potent poison. When you make a damage roll that deals poison damage, it ignores resistance to poison damage. Brew poison. You gain proficiency with the Poisoner's Kit. With 1 hour of work using such a kit and expending 50 gold, worth of materials, you can create a number of poison doses equal to your proficiency bonus. As a bonus action, you can apply the poison dose to a weapon or piece of ammunition. Once applied, the poison retains its potency for 1 minute or until you deal damage with the poisoned item, whichever is shorter. When a creature takes damage from the poisoned item, that creature must succeed on a Constitution saving throw, DC 8 plus modifier of the ability increase by this feat and your proficiency bonus, or take 2d8 poison damage and have the poisoned condition until the end of your next turn. Pole Arm Master, General Feat, prerequisite level 4 plus strength or dexterity 13 plus. You gain the following benefits: ability score increase. Increase your dexterity or strength score by 1 to a maximum of 20. Pole Strike. Immediately after you take the attack action and attack with a quarterstaff, a spear, or a weapon that has the heavy and reach properties, you can use a bonus action to make a melee attack with the opposite end of the weapon. The weapon deals bludgeoning damage, and the weapon's damage die for the attack is a d4. Reactive Strike. While you're holding a quarterstaff, a spear, or a weapon that has the heavy and reach properties, you can take a reaction to make one melee attack against a creature that enters the reach you have with that weapon. That was a mouthful. Resilient. General Feat, prerequisite level 4 plus. You gain the following benefits: ability score increase. Choose one ability with which you lack saving throw proficiency. Increase the chosen ability score by 1 to a maximum of 20. Saving throw proficiency. You gain saving throw proficiency with the chosen ability. Ritual Caster, General Feat, prerequisite level 4 plus. Intelligence, Wisdom, or Charisma 13 plus. You gain the following benefits: ability score increase. Increase your intelligence, wisdom, or charisma score by 1 to a maximum of 20. Ritual spells. Choose a number of level 1 spells equal to your proficiency bonus that have the ritual tag. You always have those spells prepared, and you can cast them with any spell slots you have. The spell's casting ability is the ability increase by this feat whenever your proficiency bonus increases thereafter. You can add an additional level 1 spell with the ritual tag to the spells always prepared with this feature. Quick Ritual. With this benefit, you can cast a ritual spell that you have prepared using its regular casting time rather than the extended time for a ritual. Doing so doesn't require a spell slot. Once you cast the spell in this way, you can't use this benefit again until you finish a long rest. Sentinel. General Feat, prerequisite level 4 plus. Strength or dexterity 13 plus. You gain the following benefits: ability score increase. Increase your strength or dexterity score by 1 to a maximum of 20. Guardian. Immediately after a creature within 5 feet of you takes the disengage action or hits a target other than you with an attack, you can make an opportunity attack against that creature. Halt. When you hit a creature with an opportunity attack, the creature's speed becomes 0 for the rest of the current turn. Shadow Touched. General Feat, prerequisite level 4 plus. Your exposure to the Shadowfell's magic grants you the following benefits. Ability score increase. Increase your intelligence, wisdom, or charisma score by 1 to a maximum of 20. Shadow magic. Choose 1 level 1 spell from the illusion or necromancy school of magic. You always have that spell and the invisibility spell prepared. You can cast each of these spells without expending a spell slot. Once you cast either spell in this way, you can't cast that spell in this way again until you finish a long rest. You can also cast these spells using spell slots you have of the appropriate level. The spell casting ability is the ability increased by this spell. Sharpshooter. General feat prerequisite level 4 plus dexterity 13 plus. You gain the following benefits. Ability score increase. Increase your dexterity score by 1 to a maximum of 20. Bypass cover. Your ranged attacks with the weapons ignore half cover and 3/4 cover. Firing in melee. Being within 5 feet of an enemy doesn't impose a disadvantage on your attack rolls with ranged weapons. Long shots. Attacking at long range doesn't impose disadvantage on your attack rolls with ranged weapons. Shield Master. General feat prerequisite level 4 plus shield training. You gain the following benefits. Ability score increase. Increase your strength score by 1 maximum of 20. Shield Bash. If you attack a creature within 5 feet of you as part of the attack action and hit with the melee weapon, you can immediately bash the target with your shield if it's equipped, forcing the target to make a strength saving throw, DC 8 plus your strength modifier and proficiency bonus. On a failed save, you either push the target 5 feet from you or cause it to have the prone condition. Your choice. You can use this benefit only once on each of your turns. Interpose shield. If you're subjected to an effect that allows you to make a dexterity saving throw to take only half damage, you can take a reaction to take no damage if you succeed on the saving throw and are holding a shield. Skill Expert. General feat prerequisite level 4 plus. You gain the following benefits. Ability score increase. Increase your ability score of your choice by 1 to a maximum of 20. Skill proficiency. You gain proficiency in one skill of your choice. Expertise. Choose one skill in which you have proficiency but lack expertise. You gain the expertise with that skill. Skulker. General feat prerequisite level 4 plus dexterity 13 plus. You gain the following benefits. Ability score increase. Increase your dexterity score by 1 to a maximum of 20. Blind sight. You have blind sight with a range of 10 feet. Fog of war. You exploit the distractions of battle, gaining advantage on a dexterity stealth check you make as part of a hide action during combat. Sniper. If you make an attack roll while hidden in the Sniper, if you make an attack roll while hidden and the roll misses, making the attack roll doesn't reveal your location. Okay. Slasher. General feat prerequisite level 4 plus. You gain the following benefits. Ability score increase. Increase your strength or dexterity score by 1 to a maximum of 20. Hamstring. Once per turn, when you hit a creature with an attack that deals slashing damage, you can reduce the speed of that creature by 10 feet until the start of your next turn. Enhanced critical. When you score a critical hit that deals slashing damage to a creature, it has disadvantage on attack rolls until the start of your next turn. Speedy. General feat prerequisite level 4 plus. Dexterity or constitution 13 plus. You gain the following benefits. Ability score increase. Increase your dexterity or constitution score by 1 to a maximum of 20. Speed increase. Your speed increases by 10 feet. Dash over difficult terrain. When you take the dash action on your turn, difficult terrain doesn't cost you extra movement for the rest of that turn. Agility movement. Opportunity attacks have disadvantage against you. Spell Sniper. General feat prerequisite level 4 plus. Spellcasting or packed magic feature. You gain the following benefits. Ability score increase. Increase your intelligence, wisdom, or charisma score by 1 to a maximum of 20. Bypass cover. Your attack rolls for spells ignore half cover and 3/4 cover. Casting in melee. Being within 5 feet of an enemy doesn't impose a disadvantage on your attack rolls with spells. Increase range. When you cast a spell that has a range of at least 10 feet and requires you to make an attack roll, you can increase the spell's range by 60. Telekinetic. General feats a prerequisite level level 4 plus. You gain the following benefits. Ability score increase. Increase your intelligence, wisdom, or charisma score by 1 to a maximum of 20. Minor telekinesis. You learn the Mage Hand spell. You can cast it without a verbal or somatic bonus. You can make the spectral hand invisible, and its range and distance it can be away from you both increase by 30 feet when you cast it. The spell's spellcasting ability is the ability increased by this feat. Telekinetic shove. As a bonus action, you can telekinetically shove one creature you can see within 30 feet of yourself. When you do so, the target must succeed on a strength saving throw, DC 8 plus the ability modifier of your score increased by this feat, and your proficiency bonus, or move 5 feet forward or away from you. Telepathic. General feat prerequisite level 4 plus. You gain the following benefits. Ability score increase. Increase your intelligence, wisdom, or charisma score by 1 to a maximum of 20. Telepathic utterance. You can speak telepathically to any creature you see within 60 feet of yourself. Your telepathic utterances are in a language you know and the creature understands you only if it knows that language. Your communication doesn't give the creature's ability to respond to you telepathically. Detect thoughts. You always have detect thoughts spell prepared. You can cast it without using a spell slot or spell components. You must finish a long rest before you can cast the spell again. You can also cast it using a spell slot you have of the appropriate level. Your spellcasting ability for this spell is the ability increased by this feat. Warcaster. General feats. Prerequisites level 4 plus. Spellcasting or pact magic feature. You gain the following benefits. Ability score increase your intelligence, wisdom, or charisma score by 1 to a maximum of 20. Concentration. You have advantage on concentration saving throws that you make to maintain concentration. Reactive spell. When a creature provokes an opportunity attack from you by leaving its reach, you can make a reaction spell cast at the creature rather than making an opportunity attack. The spell must have the casting time of 1 action and must target only that creature. Somatic components. You can perform somatic components of spells when you have weapons or shield in both hands. Weapon Master. General feat. Prerequisite level 4 plus. You gain the following benefits. Ability score increase your strength or dexterity score by 1 to a maximum of 20. Mastery property. You train with weapons, allowing you to use the mastery property of one kind of simple or martial weapon of your choice, provided you have proficiency with it. Whenever you finish a long rest, you can change the kind of weapon to another eligible kind. That is it for now. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned to the continuation of the feat.